What's up YouTube? I am Gallad74 here, bringing you our Week 1 battle of the Ocean League. This is Matt Oshea's Ocean League, so big shouts to him for creating this league. I highly recommend you go check out his links in the description below, as well as check out my opponent for this week, which is Apocalypse, coach of the Norman Nidokings. Now, like the IBA, we do face our division rivals twice in a season. However, he is not a division rival, and we only face him once, unless, we meet up in the finals. So I'm going to go over my team in pretty much detail. I'm going to try as much as I can. So there's going to be a timestamp for when the battle actually starts. So if you don't want to watch a team builder, you can just skip ahead now. But anyways, we are going up against the guy that actually took the Infernape pick. If you guys watched the draft analysis, he took the Infernape, which I was really salty about. But, whatever. It worked out. My draft I really enjoy. And yeah, that's kind of it. He's a really nice guy, so again, make sure to go check out his link in the description below. And without further ado, I'm going to go over his team and my team. So first off, we're going to look over his team. His team consists of Mega Gyarados, Infernape, Thundurus, Therian, Ferrothorn, Reuniclus, Haxorus, Klefki, Tentacruel, Venomoth, Dusclops, and Rhydon. Now, first thing I noticed was the Mega Gyarados, the Haxorus, Thundurus T. A lot of his mons have setup options, so I have to make sure I can prevent any of his mons from setting up. What I thought he was going to bring would consist of the Gyarados, Infernape, Thundurus, Therian, Reuniclus, Haxorus, and Dusclops, with maybe Tentacruel coming. Tentacruel was definitely an option there. While I could see like Gyarados setting up, not Reuniclus, Haxorus being like Scarf, Infernape being all-out attacker, Z user like usual, and maybe Thundurus T setup. So that was just a thought in my mind of what he was going to bring. But we're going to look over my team now. My team consists of Mega Charizard Y, Slowbro, Zeraora, Superior, Tyrantrum, and Alolan Persian. Now, I built this team heavily around the Mega Charizard because his switch-ins to Mega Charizard Y are non-existent outside of the Tentacruel maybe. And even then, I brought Earthquake on this Charizard because Tentacruel can't touch me back unless it's got Toxic, which is kind of annoying, and the sun is not up. And Earthquake does almost half, a little less than half, and he does not have reliable recovery. So outside of the Tentacruel, there's not really a switch in for this Charizard. He can switch in Infernape, yes, but it still takes over half. So that's just enough. That's just damage for me that I would love to have. I'm running max special attack, 232 speed to outspeed the Haxorus with Timid Nature, and the rest in defense. So Choice Band Mach Punch can't pick me off when I'm low. Next up, we got Slowbro here with the move Psyshock, Ice Beam, Grass Knot, and Thunder Wave, which is our main defensive wall of the week with almost max HP, max defense with a little bit of special attack and speed. The speed is there to outspeed one of his Reuniclus with no speed at all, so there's something. This is a main way to deal with the Infernape and the Haxorus because those two are really scary. Haxorus is probably, if it's not Scarf, it's going to set up, and T-Wave stops that. And T-Wave just stops Haxorus completely, so that's the reason that's on there, as well as Infernape and a lot of his setup sweepers. I don't want to take a hit from Gyarados, but if I have to, I can tank one and then T-Wave it, and then that thing is crippled. So a lot of things don't want to be taking T-Wave from this thing. A bad theme on this team is that Charizard's got the Sun, and Slowbro's Scald's going to be watered down by the Sun. So luckily, I didn't really have to deal with that problem this week, as Infernape is both weak to Psychic and Water, so I can just run the Psychic move. And the only thing that is weak to Water is Rhydon, so I decided to run the Grass Knot because if I ran the Scald, I wouldn't have been able to touch the Gyarados with some damage at least, so the Grass Knot was the better option in the end. Yes, this can't touch a few of his mons, but the T-Wave and Paralysis spreading is very, very crucial for his team. Next up, we got Zeraora with the moves Bulk Up, Plasma's Fists, Knock Off, Brick Break. The Darkinium Z, max attack, 100 speed, it doubt it, and 152 HP. Now, this is kind of my late game sweeper or fast mon, so something doesn't get out of control. I can just come in with this really, really fast mon and deal with it. Is my main switch into Klefki. Klefki does have a chance to come in. I'm not sure if it's going to come to the battle, but if it does, Zeraora can just switch in. It can't do anything unless it's got like Toxic or something like that, and I'm not really expecting Toxic on Klefki. So Zeraora can just set up bulk ups on the thing for days because Dazzling Gleam and Play Rough ain't going to do too much, especially after a bulk up. Play Rough's not going to do anything. So there's that. It can offensively destroy the Tentacruel as well and just do a few other things. Again, if Infernape's not Scarf and it's getting out of hand, I can just come in with Zeraora. Plasma Fist does a load of damage, and that's kind of it for that. And again, for Thundurus is kind of scary, but if I have Volt Absorb, we both have Volt Absorb, so we can't really hit each other too hard. Luckily, I got bulk up. He might have nasty plot, it's a thought, so that's kind of scary, but I have ways around that. Next up on the team, we got Superior. Superior is running Leaf Storm, Leech Seed, Defog, and Synthesis with 216 speed with the timid nature and 248 HP with 44 in defense with the leftovers. Now, I decided to run bulky Superior this week because Dusclops was starting to look like a problem a little bit, so I decided that Leech Seed would be nice on it, and just to chip it down would be pretty cool. If it's got rest, it's a little annoying, but it would allow my offensive sweepers to come in, because my offensive sweepers in Sarah Aura and Tyrantrum don't want to be taking Will-O-Wisp, and if it's asleep, I can just, fire off attacks days after days. Superior is also here to make sure Gyarados doesn't really get too out of hand either. It might be a problem if it does have Ice Fang, but I don't really think Gyarados is going to be running the Ice Fang. I don't think it's got the move coverage to run that. And it's also here to just another check for Rhydon, because Slowbro can do it, but Slowbro has got a lot to do this match, so easing that a little bit on Superior would be pretty nice. And that's kind of it for the Superior. There's not too much it needs to do outside of stall out that Mega Gyarados a little bit and the Rhydon and Dusclops. It doesn't really have much of a purpose outside of that, so... Oh, and Defog, that was it too. Defogging the rocks away off Charizard is huge, because Charizard is a big part of this team, and if the rocks are up, then it's going to be a serious problem. So that is the Superior set. And next we got the Tyrantrum. I'm going to have a kill count for Tyrantrum this year, by the way. But Tyrantrum is running Head Smash, Earthquake, Fire Fang, Superpower with the Assault Vest, Max Attack, almost max HP with a little bit of speed, with the Rocket ability, obviously, because why would I run Strong Draw? But anyway, Tyrantrum is here to kind of handle the Thundurus. It's not the greatest Thundurus counter, especially if it's got like Nasty Plot, Titanium Z, then Tyrantrum just gets demolished by that. But the Assault Vest allows me to tank any hit that's not boosted. It allows me to power my way through Reuniclus offensively, as well as Venomoth. I can take care of Venomoth as well with this Tyrantrum. So basically, whatever Slowbro cannot handle, Tyrantrum can when it comes to setup. So that's what's good about that. And it can also deal with the Mega Gyarados very, very well if it's not intimidated or it's not boosted. So Tyrantrum's there as well, but mainly the Thundurus. And if Thundurus kills my Tyrantrum for whatever reason, then it might be a little bit of a problem. Move coverage, I ran Fire Fang because of the Ferrothorn being existing. I didn't need the Outrage because Head Smash basically just destroys the Haxorus, and that was all I needed Outrage for anyway. And all the rest of the coverage is just coverage for his team. Lastly, we got the Alolan Persian running Parting Shot, Taunt, Toxic, and Foul Play. 200 speed, Jolly Nature, 60 special defense, and 248 HP with the leftovers. Now again, Dusclops was not offensively a problem, but it could just kind of sit there against my team. So taunting it would be a really big thing, and that's what I wanted Persian for. Parting Shot is just good to pivot around his team. This can deal with Reuniclus setup as well. Sets up Foul, Taunt, Toxic, all that. I can find out if it's Magic Guard or Regenerator that way. And that's kind of it. Persian is mainly here just to give me momentum throughout this game, because without momentum, I think he's got a good advantage with that Infernape, because Infernape loves to just kind of spam moves around my team. So that was what the Persian was there for. And that is my team. I'm feeling pretty confident as long as something doesn't get too set up on his team. But if nothing's set up, then I'm feeling pretty good about this game. But that's it for the team builder, and we're going to get right into this battle. So here we are in the battle, and the first thing I realized was that there was no Tentacruel or the Dusclops, so Flamethrower was pretty free. I decided to leave Persian because Persian's faster than anything barring Scarfers, and if I can find out of something Scarf right off the bat, that is amazing. But he leads Ferrothorn, which is the best thing ever, because I can just Parting Shot out, and that is a free switch in for Charizard. He does have the Leech Seed, which does kind of suck. I should have just taunted and then Parting Shot, but I didn't want to take any damage on the Persian, because Persian could be used a little later. Here, he does have Protect Leech Seed, which is kind of annoying, but it doesn't matter because I can just fire off Flamethrowers. Nothing really wants to take it. His best switch-in would be Infernape if he doesn't want to lose anything, but he does go into Infernape, and you will see how much his damage does in the sun. It does 61%, which is just absolutely nuts in my opinion, but I can't stay in because he probably has the Thunder Punch or something like that. I'm getting whittled down. I want to stay above 50%. He goes for the Z move here, and I was really terrified, but it actually ended up being the Acid Downpour. Now, he told me after the battle that it was originally Electrium Z, but he changed it, and that kind of sucks for him because that would have done a massive amount to Slowbro. He just U-turns out as he takes the Rocky Helmet damage. I just go for the Psyshock because damage is damage. He does bring in the Reuniclus, which is a good play on his part. Now this turn, I'm just going to go into Persian because Persian can just do his thing. He does go for the Calm Mind, so I do have to prevent this setup from any, like, prevent him from setting up anymore. Can't talk. So here I'm going to just go for the taunt and see if he's got Signal Beam or Focus Blast. And it turns out he goes for the Hidden Power. And I'm just like, is this Hidden Power Rock? I'm not sure, but I was assuming it's Hidden Power Rock for the Charizard. He switches here. I can just Parting Shot now because Tyranium can tank any hit knowing it doesn't have the Focus Blast. So he goes in Klefki, so I end up going into Zeraora. This is my main Klefki counter. And he does go for the Toxic, so that really sucks because I wasn't expecting him to have the Toxic. Here I always go for knockoff, and of course he got the Rocky Helmet, so extra chip damage on me. But, you know, I can hit him. Now, I'm not really expecting him to switch out into Thunderous, so I'm just going to fire off a Plasma Fists, as he does show that he is a little bit defensively invested. Not max, but definitely full max HP, some defense. Here, I'm just going to go for knockoff again. I'm rotating between moves because I don't want Thunderous to come in for free. Now here he's probably thinking that I'm just going to save my Zeraora, but I actually just sack it because he goes for the Toxic. I goes for the Plasma Fists and knock out the Klefki. So we trade Klefki for Zeraora. Now on paper you would think that's a bad trade, but I'm perfectly fine with this because Zeraora was made to beat that Klefki, as, you know, at least drew with it, so that's fine. Here, same situation, Persian can come in. I'm going to taunt this time since the Thunderous. I don't want the Nasty Plot up if it's a Nasty Plot set, and what do you know? It's a Nasty Plot set. So I made a good play there. Here now I can just Parting Shot out into Tyranium because Tyranium can tank hits from this thing, especially at -1 now. He does go for the Thunderbolt, and he does actually paralyze me, and I'm thinking, oh no, if I miss this head smash or get paralyzed, because he does have the Flash Cannon, it does a lot of damage, and that's a lot of damage. But he does have the Life Orb, so he's going to chip himself down. Luckily, I do break through Paralysis, and I do hit the Head Smash, and that is absolutely huge because my fastest Pokemon outside of, like, Superior is gone. Like, Zeraora is gone, so I wouldn't have been able to revenge that so easily. But luckily, he does die. Here he brings in Ferrothorn, which every time Charizard just switch in. He goes for Protective Stall out some turns, which is fine. By the way, I apologize. This video is a little laggy. It's not that bad, but it's just a little bit. So, you know, apologies for that. Here, nothing wants to take a Flamethrower, so I'm just going to keep spamming Flamethrower as he does go into the Reuniclus. Takes 66%. He's not taking another one. I don't think this thing has Protect, so he is going to just sack his Reuniclus to the Charizard. So, there it goes. Another kill for Charizard. So, now, oh no, a kill for Charizard, my bad. Here he sends an Infernape. Again, I can't stay in on this thing. However, he does pull a nice double into Haxorus. As I go into Slowbro, which is just fine because Slowbro was made to handle this Haxorus and Infernape. I'm at 61% though, so if this thing is Banded Outrage, that gets a little scary. He does go for the Dragon Dance, which is terrifying, but I do get the T-Wave off, and now this thing is really crippled. However, he gets paralyzed this turn, which really sucks. I do go for the Ice Beam, and it does well over half, so if he would have gotten his move off as he does this turn, he goes for the Dragon Claw, and it just barely doesn't kill. He would have been at 14% with my Slowbro dead, and I could have revenged it pretty easily, but then Infernape becomes a lot more scarier because I do not have any more defensive checks for it. He goes into Ferrothorn. I can't go into Charizard at this time because the rocks are up. He goes for the Leech Seed, which is fine because, you know, Superior. Superior does nothing at this point, so all I have to do is try and defog these rocks away. He does go for the Protect, and I didn't realize that defog doesn't work on Protect, so that sucks. Here I'm expecting him to rock again, so I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm, see how much it does, which, you know, pitiful damage. +2 special attack though, so now this thing is a little more scarier. If it's at +6, it doesn't do that much to a Ferrothorn, but it's damage. This turn, however, I go for the defog because that is a bigger priority. I don't think this thing's just going to spam rocks against me, which it doesn't. He goes for the Gyro Ball. Now you would think this is a good switch in for Charizard. However, I want to get Slowbro up to more HP because if he crits me with a Gunk Shot, then I'm in some serious problems. So I'm going to make sure I can survive a crit Gunk Shot. Go into my Persian. Don't really need Persian too much. If he goes for anything, I can just Parting Shot out. He does go into Ferrothorn. Now this is perfect because I can easily just Parting Shot out. I know this Ferrothorn's full moveset in Stealth Rock, Leech Seed, Protect, and Gyro Ball, so it can't really touch this Charizard. He does go for the Gyro Ball here. As you see, it only does 21%. And now I can spam Flamethrower again. Infernape's low enough where it won't survive one, so he's in a really, really tough spot at this point. He protects Stall Sun. It's not really going to matter at this point unless he's got like Sash, which he doesn't. It's leftovers. As his Ferrothorn drops. And it's down to the Infernape. I know Slowbro now with its Regenerator boost back up, it can live 2 Gunk Shots, but I'd rather not risk it. I'm not a person to try and save differential. So I let my Mega Charizard go down here. And now, since knowing he doesn't have Thunder Punch because he would have went for it by now, this Slowbro basically just beats this Infernape. And I'm pretty sure it's Choice Scarf after staying the Gunk Shot. So that is a GG. No, it's Poison MC, what I'm talking about. But anyway, that is a GG to Apocalypse. I really enjoyed the battle. Make sure to go check out his links if I can get some in the description below. I actually don't know if I have any links off the top of my head. But if I do, I will put them in the description below. Next week, we face a division rival, Coach Merv, coach of the Drunk Delibirds, which is literally the best logo ever. You will see it next week. But again, thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. If you enjoy Pokemon Draft League content, consider subscribing to the channel, as we are trying to post once a week, or I'm trying to post once a week. But that's all I got for this league. I'm going to head out of here. Have a fantastic day, YouTube.